Barack Obama thinks that this is not looking good for his old running mate. Quote, Obama knows this is going to be a close race, the source said, and feels that Democrats very well could lose the 2024 election. Obama worries that the alternative is pretty dangerous for democracy, the person said.
So I think it's this statement is very interesting to me because first we had Axelrod, do you remember, a couple weeks ago saying, I don't think he can win. And Joe Biden's not taking the hint. It doesn't appear that he is going to step down on his own accord. I believe, and so does my husband, that he kind of can't because his way of protecting Hunter and then himself is by using the power of the government, and the DOJ and the FBI. He loses that, and so he can't. He has to continue and hope he wins and fights this off. That's my theory on it. The fact that Obama is back on now himself, not through surrogate, saying this means he's like, hey, Joe, I mean business. This is serious.
It would have to be. I mean, these are leaks through people familiar with Barack Obama. If he were to go, no, that's true. But I mean, if he were to go you wonder what a conversation face-to-face with Joe would look like if Obama really is delivering the news. Like, it's time to go, from my view.
Do you believe me? Do you agree with me that this is what this is?
It could be. It could be. I mean, I think this is all insider talk. We don't know, but it would have to be a conversation with that guy on the screen right now, with the other guy on the screen, and a sort of a come-to-Jesus moment of this is just not going to happen. And we'll see if the polls continue to trend in that direction. But you know what?
Whose party is it?
Well, you know what Joe has, though? He's got a great insurance policy, and that is his vice president in Kamala Harris, who everyone says if you get rid of Joe, then you get Kamala. Well, Kamala Harris has a new campaign communications director. His name is Brian Fallon, who has a history of not loving Joe all that much. And here's some tweets from a few years ago of Kamala Harris's new campaign communications director. He said this, tweeted in September of 2019. A lot of people seem to be giving Biden a pass for that answer on slavery. Another tweet in 2019. Biden trying to complete an answer is a tender moment. And in 2021, that's not that far off. He's test driving Ford F-150. He's not going to Selma to talk about voting rights. That needs to happen. But there are plenty of people that see the obvious, that Joe's not that great of a candidate. He's got some vulnerabilities, and now they're working for Kamala.
Do you think that was Will, do you think that was a move on her part to send a message?
I think we're starting to see the beginning of the end. And I think we've talked about it, and it's going to come as no surprise. But once inside the beehive, the bees start attacking one another, that you're beginning to see the queen bee go down. And the queen bee is Joe Biden, and whether or not it's Barack Obama or Kamala Harris or Gavin Newsom, I think with David Axelrod acknowledging reality with the polls, and James Carville has as well, the polls are indicating, and now the future of the hive, and now the bees are turning on the queen.
Yeah, well, the real queen bee is Jill Biden, who loves being first lady, so we'll see what happens.
We shall see.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.